A recall is issued for 16,000 pounds of ground beef over E. coli concerns. The U.S. Department of Agriculture recalling Cargill Meat Solutions ground beef packages with this established ID. They were shipped to Walmart stores. It's the latest grocery store staple to cause us shoppers to look twice at what we're buying, especially as the bird flu is already impacting dairy cows. Ohio State Extension Program Coordinator Haley Shoemaker is back with us now to go over what we need to know. Haley, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, can you tell us about the strain of E. coli linked to the beef recall and why it's so concerning for health officials?
So the strain of E. coli that we're seeing in the most recent recall is E. coli O157 colon H7. It's one of the most common strains we see in human impacts or infections. So this is a very common strain of E. coli. It does have some symptoms you can expect or associate with if you're looking at consumption of meat with this strain of E. coli that USDA and the Food Safety Inspection Service has listed out to keep an eye on. There have not been any adverse reactions or disease reports as of yet, which is reassuring. But they are giving folks just a list of what to keep an eye on if you have consumed meat that is involved in the recall.
Yeah, if you buy some of the meat or any meat, I mean, what can consumers do to ensure that they are safely consuming these products?
So if you've bought any of the meat packaging that is involved in the recall, it is suggested that you either throw that away or take it back to the store that you purchased it at. Beyond that, if you're ever cooking any beef, make sure you're cooking it to a safe internal temperature of at least 160 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's when you check it with a meat thermometer or a food thermometer. Always be checking whether it's beef, pork, poultry, lamb, anything you're cooking should be cooked to that recommended internal temp. And USDA has a great resource online that will tell you exactly where to cook each species of meat.
Interesting. Now, we are also monitoring the bird flu in cows. NPR is reporting the H1N1 virus outbreak is affecting 36 herds of dairy cows in 9 states, including Ohio. Do we have any local cases to report?
Not right now, no.
Okay. And then what protocols is the government taking or farmers taking to contain the virus?
So biosecurity protocols are always something we're paying attention to on farms. This is specifically a time when we really need to be up to date on those biosecurity protocols. And what we've seen throughout USDA, FDA, and Ohio State Extension in our College of Vet Med, we've put together some resources that are being funneled out to our dairy producers in the dairy industry to make sure they have the most up-to-date resources at the time. USDA has ordered a couple different interstate movement regulations for lactating dairy cattle. And there's also constant updates on USDA's website that is purely devoted to updates on highly pathogenic avian influenza in dairy cattle. So there's constant updates coming to our growers and our producers. And there's also constant updates going to their veterinary practitioners. Those are the folks that they're going to be the first to call if someone is noticing any symptoms on their herd. So it's a constant communication between all parties and constant updates at this time because there's just a lot we're learning at this point.
Yeah, and as long as the milk's pasteurized, it's okay to drink it, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Okay.
Yes,
very
pasteurization is really important.
Oh, yeah.
So make sure that the milk you're consuming is pasteurized and has gone through that process.
Yeah, we had 22 million chickens, turkeys had to be slaughtered to slow the spread of this. Hopefully they can contain it and also get a handle on what is happening with the meat, too. Really appreciate you joining us, giving us your advice for us shoppers heading to the grocery store the next few days over the weekend. We really needed that info.
Thanks. And they have actually done a study in beef to look at any presence of high path particles or whatnot. And that study did show that there was no evidence of any human safety concerns in the beef supply coming from dairy cattle. So that's reassuring as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us here at 5.